All right, let's get into it, guys. Why does everything today feel like a scam or a grift? Because it is. Let's get into it.
Hey everybody, hope you're having an amazing week. I had a little bit of a delay getting to recording my next video, but this one worked out perfectly as it's on a Friday and it seems to be the best day to upload for most of you to be able to watch the content.
Super random, I know. Why am I even talking about this? The way people put their sunglasses, I find that kind of cool, man. I gotta get me a pair of sunglasses. See, oh my, I'm not buying anything.
And if you're new to the channel, I want to extend a welcome to you, and for those of you returning, welcome back to you as well. I love hearing all your feedback and reading all your comments and seeing how you feel about everything. And today I'm going to introduce another observation similar to what I did last Friday about 4th of July and where we feel our country is going for those of us here in the U.S.
I don't know, man. I don't know where we're going, but it's not looking too bright. At least, you know, I feel like he seems like a solid dude. He seems like he's got his stuff together, at least. We're all trying to, but yeah, dude, it's nearly impossible to come up in this time, dude.
That's with me. But also, this one really is more of why does everything feel, and see if you can resonate with this. Why does everything feel today like it is a scam? Now, I realize that we've kind of switched into a gig economy and a gig culture where everything feels like a grift or a scam nowadays. Every job posting that you try to respond to. Now, I've not been actually personally looking for work. I run my own business, but I
will say, I was a while ago looking for a different job, possibly just for a little bit. I don't think it'll honestly matter too much, but dude, all these fake job postings, dude, it's like, dude, what are these job titles, you know? Like, is that real? I don't know.
Hearing this from so many people, every job posting they're responding to, there's some sort of a grift or some sort of thing behind it where it turns out that it's a scam.
Literally, they just sell your information and then, bro, it's ridiculous.
It's not an actual steady, stable job. Most of them don't even respond. They're fake job postings, and it seems like that is everywhere. And that is just one of the beginning, that's just the beginning tip of what I have to talk about today. I mean, there's so many things that now feel like that, from the subscription services that they seem to push on us for literally everything that we use in life. Everything has some sort of a subscription service attached to it. Super, super easy to sign up for. Almost impossible. You got to jump through a million hoops just to get whatever that service is completely canceled.
Dude, I literally just went through this. So I just bought a new desktop. Also, not as good as I thought it was, but it was a reasonable price. And I wanted something new. So I could figure some stuff out with something. I've been having a lot of computer issues, just like my car, so I kind of wanted something, not a new car, but I wanted a computer and a car that was completely in working condition. You know, no more stuff with like issues or anything, but so my brother, he a while back got me Filmora 9. Right? And I was trying to move it onto this computer and it wasn't possible. And then I had to get Filmora 14, which was $50 a year. That's fine, I guess, whatever. But then you get onto the platform and it's like, dude, this is worse. I spent money for a worse product. I don't know, man. I may have to figure something out. And I already bought it, the $50, but it's like, dude, I'm using it now. I'm getting the hang of it, but it's like, dude, this is way worse than what I was using. And now I'm paying for it. I wasn't even paying for it back then. Scam.
And if you can't get it canceled, it's going to take you forever. You're going to have to basically make phone calls. You're going to have to do a bunch of emails, pretty much everything that you could think of just to try and get the subscription service canceled so that you can get your money back. And moving on from that, even thinking about all like the cheap sites that are selling everything, like it used to be that back in the day there was a little bit, I know it sounds almost like, Steve, you're starting to sound like a boomer from way back when. Sorry about that. There's a train nearby. But, back in the day, businesses offered value for the money, but that is something that has significantly changed as well. Like, you go and you buy, a sandwich from any place and you order it, and it costs way, way more than it ever used to, which we all already know about. We know how everything is shifted, but it just doesn't nearly taste as good usually anymore. And then the amount of tip and all the additional fees and everything that they throw on top, you end up feeling like I should just stay home and make my own stuff.
I think they're doing this on purpose, right? Firstly, I used to work at Subway a while back. They didn't have this thing where you could tip the person. Now when you go in there, it's like they put the little tip screen on, and then the people at the cashier, they're standing right there. It's like, dude, I'm not going to tip you for just making me my Subway sandwich. Like, realistically, Subway should be paying you guys. But it's like they even flip that on us now. Now it's like socially, it's like incorrect not to just tip every dude that has a handout. I'm not even blaming the Subway worker, because it's like, dude, they're just doing their job, but it's like, it's a weird dynamic once you get to the register, because it's like, I don't know, man. It's weird. I feel like they're doing all this so that we stop buying stuff. I don't know, man. I'm trying to find the joy in life, but they're really testing my patience.
It's a complete waste of time because it's not even good. I mean, you end up regretting having spent all that money, and it is an exorbitant amount of money compared to what it used to be. Now, for those of us that have much reduced overhead and much reduced debt, yes, it makes life a little bit easier for us to be able to do that sort of thing. But if you're not going to actually get good quality and good value out of it, then what is the point? And I feel like a lot of us are kind of getting to that point where we're really, really questioning that. If we're not going to get good value and we're not going to get good quality, then what really is the point? So, other things that people have been pointing out to me, and I started to notice this myself, but this is something that's definitely a major thing: clothing. And I've seen a number of people doing videos, exposés, other things about this, where the clothing literally is, you're getting charged top dollar for it, and it's falling apart in a couple of washes. Like, it's already starting to fray, the fabric is just breaking down completely, and everything is being set up for a form of planned obsolescence. Now, normally you would hear somebody say that when you're talking about technology or a phone, or the fact that we have to spend $1,500 every couple of years to get an updated phone.
Yeah, I was just telling somebody at work about the planned obsolescence, but that's why what's going to happen is, I think there's going to be a shift, right? We all know what's going on, so people are going to start buying up all the really good quality cars, and those are going to go up in prices. Maybe. You see how much a pack of t-shirts are? I only wear t-shirts now. I do not wear labels. For my t-shirts, I don't have pictures or anything. I used to do that, but now, for one, I realize I just look better in a regular t-shirt. But it was just a scam, man. It's just another loophole, and then you want to buy some shirts, and then it's like, I'm trying to cut all that out, and at least for the clothes part, I'm good on clothes. I have plenty enough, so I don't need any more. But yeah, dude, the quality has gone down, and the prices are insane, dude. It's like 5 t-shirts are like 20 fucking bucks.
Just to be able to get it to run and function on the network. So, but think about that with almost every product that we have now. They're intentionally, deliberately making it so that it's cheaper and more likely to come apart, break down, and not function as well, even our clothing. And I hadn't even really thought of it that way, but eventually, I began to realize that these people really did have a point, that if you buy clothing that isn't absolutely super expensive, in many, many cases, it's just completely coming apart in almost no time. And it isn't just an imagined thing that it didn't used to be that way. It definitely didn't used to be that way. I'm curious as to what your observations are on that. Have any of you come across the fact that it just seems like your clothes wear out quicker, the shoes wear out quicker, everything seems to have additional prices and costs attached to it, and the job market, despite the fact that we're already having millions of people laid off, it seems like being able to get a job is virtually impossible because everything is a gig. Nothing is actually what it seems to be, and then you'll respond to hundreds and hundreds of these just to find out most of them are fake. And then by the time you actually get a hold of something real, you've got, hundreds of people trying to go after that one real one because all this other stuff, all this fake stuff has completely inundated the job sites. And that's not from my personal experience. That is from the research and everything that I've pulled in from everybody else. Everything I've read or seen about it confirms this is happening all over the place.
I feel like when I envision myself, right, with a bunch of money, even recently I was thinking about like, man, dude, once my stuff comes together, I'm buying me a nicer car. There is no way I'm doing that. Once I get everything paid for, everything squared away, and life is good, I will never. And it's like, I don't even want to spend that much, but I'm like afraid to, right? I feel like, and also, I don't trust these people anymore. If I go out and buy a decent car, like you said, there's already planned obsolescence in it, and I'm knowing that. So I'm knowing that they know they're gonna try to get every little dollar out of me. And it's like, why would I sign up for that? Why wouldn't I just keep my car out there that's perfectly fine? There's nothing wrong with it. And it's not even, it was before all this nonsense. 2013. I would say at that point, anything farther is getting pretty, I'd say 2017 and on, those cars are risky because you don't know what's going to happen, and these people, they're looking to create something. That's why I also take very good care of my car. Oil changes on the dot, and I do other stuff because cars are so expensive. I have to be a psycho and be proactive, super crazy, so that my car always runs immaculate.
I think some of the other stuff too is the food being bland and completely overpriced, as I mentioned before, but it seems like almost every restaurant you go to or anything that you do where you're just trying to find a way to, if you understand what you're doing when you go to a restaurant, a lot of the time you're going there to enjoy time with somebody or going there to kind of take a break from having to prepare your own food, do something different. And restaurants, generally speaking, at least for me, in many cases, if you're going to someplace where you're going to sit down, it's for the experience. So the experience of socializing with who you're with and enjoying that time together. With the prices having gone up and the quality having gone down, most of the time I found myself just being at a point where I just really don't want to repeat the experience. I just really don't want to. And they don't seem concerned about any of that because they're like, well, what are you going to do about it anyway, right? I mean, you can leave a bad review, but really we don't have much of a chance about any of that when it comes to that sort of thing. One other thing that I would even mention along the lines of reviews, think about everything that you're watching, Netflix, Amazon, anything that you watch where you end up coming across a show, it's really terrible, not entertaining, loaded with a bunch of political messaging or whatever. You attempt to give it a bad review. Have you ever noticed it's really hard to find and read those reviews? I mean, they'll still put up the stars, but in many cases, you can't even find the review to read it and find out why in the world people dislike something because they don't want to allow anybody to upend what it is that they're selling. So if it's a not a well done film, it's hard to find people's reviews on it on the sites because they're doing everything they can to remove it. And not only are they doing that, I've spoken to a few people about this, that one of which actually did work with Prime Video.
I want to say something real quick too. I notice they make it super hard, right? It's like you said, like, you know, they'll do some bad product and you'll go to put a review in, right? And it will be super difficult. It would be literally impossible. It's like, okay, well, sign in with your email, and then you got to create an account, and be sure to click the button where we send you emails, and then you can leave a comment. But you're gonna have to do something else too, and you may have to buy a subscription of some sort. And this is why we can help you. And it's just like, it's so crazy. You don't even want to. You're just like, dude, you just move on, because it's like you can't fight them.
At one point, and he actually told me flat out, he said, well, what they try to do is not only make it so it's hard to do, put up reviews that maybe are particularly not, positive about whatever film it was that you watched, especially depending on who made it and who's backing it. Not only is it that, it's they'll get inundated with fake reviews that make it seem like it was a lot better than it actually was. And how are you going to filter it? How are you going to know that the review that you're reading about it actually is a genuine, honest review from somebody, and not something that was programmed and set up and bought and paid for by the company to make it seem like it was a lot better than it actually was? And that is actually another huge problem. So, I mean, it seems like when you're comparing everything that I'm saying here, we're in the middle of this grifting, scamming economy that is just pushing lies down our throat 24/7. Now,
I think it's because everybody's on such thin margins that, like, it's literally a free-for-all. Like, these companies are trying to survive, and they will do anything to survive. And I feel like, because people are waking up, people are being like, dude, what am I doing? I don't want this crap, dude. I don't want this anymore. And they have to become more predatory to get some type of result, which is only going to make it worse. It's just a game, man. It's sick, but it is what we lived through.
For those of us that are getting aware of this more and more and more, and becoming, it's just on our mind constantly, we begin to realize that, I think, especially for those of us as we age out of it, we begin to realize it's better to go home and have a home-cooked meal. It's better to not be subscribed to a whole bunch of stuff and be as limited as you can with all these different things, because they just don't offer the value anymore. They don't offer anything that actually brings the value and something that's worthwhile to us, to even waste our time, to even waste our money. And every single time there is some sort of a trap set to keep you locked into it with all this.
Facts, dude. There was a time where you could go out to the let's say a McDonald's, and you'd get a meal, and you'd be like, dang, man, I'm full, man. That was nice. I enjoyed that. I'll come back later. Now it's like you get home, burgers thrown together, terrible quality, and you're thinking, I didn't enjoy this. We're getting to a strange time, man. I don't know what's going to happen.
Subscription stuff, as I mentioned before. Anyway, I'm just curious how many of you were noticing this going on out there, what you do about it. For me, I can say from my own personal perspective, I try to stay away from it. I try to watch movies that I'm generally more familiar with, or a series that I know I already like, and I try to limit anything with subscriptions. I try to limit a lot of this stuff, not even just for the sake of saving money, which is a great thing, but not even really for the sake of saving money, really because the enjoyment and the value just isn't there anymore. And as I said before, I'm curious, for those of you that are having this similar experience, what's your take on this, and what are you doing about it?
I'm just done buying that crap, man. Like, even some of the stuff I bought today, well, I didn't really, but I'm questioning every purchase I do very, very closely. And I think more people will do this as time goes on, because if there is no value in what we're buying, then we're going to stop buying it, And then I think personally, this is a ploy because they knew this was going to happen. Now they're trying to coordinate a solution, and I think they're going to make Bitcoin that solution, right? That's what I think. That's why I have so much. But it's almost like they're phasing us out of buying material goods. It's disappointing. But yeah, I'll see you guys next video, man. Thanks. Much love. Peace.